Hi, Carol here. A warm welcome to my craft room. Almost midnight and I'm doing an edit. Yes, as usual, right? Well, I'm using this 9x12 canvas paper. Yes, canvas without the frame. It's beautiful. And I put down it's wonderful because it's both beautiful and wonderful. And I decided to do a card. But then, in about 5 minutes, I thought, no, I want to do a canvas. So this is an 8x10 frame canvas, and this is a canvas sheet. And I decided to put the two together and make a canvas card. And this will be one of my 10,000 subby giveaways, and I'll explain that later. But first, we want to cut out a sensible size for the exact middle of the 8x10 frame. So I'm just hey, excuse me, I could have just cut your tail off there, little puppy. Anywho, yes. So I'm going into my pad of watercolor paper because I am going to use this as well. And that little elephant, I have to do something with that. I drew and colored that some time ago. I do need to put it on a card. But I love this watercolor paper. It's 25% cotton. And I wasn't sure whether I was going to use that or the canvas sheets. And this is beautiful, beautiful Fabriano paper. And I keep it for special occasions. So let's see how that works out, shall we? Now, after I grow this little wee carnation, we're going to carry on and we're going to put a card, a peekaboo card, in the center of this canvas. So let me explain. I took out the Masterson's handy palette here. It stays wet and you just put the lid on it, and to this foam right here you add just enough water so it's not quite dripping, and then you dampen this stay wet paper that you buy. The one thing I like about this paper is you soak it in the sink and then take it out and then put it on top of that yellow piece of sponge there, and you can keep your paints for quite a while. Just put the lid on them, put them away, and they will be just as moist as when you brought it out, and that's kind of nice. So here I am picking out which paint brushes I want to use, and I'm looking for a long soft brush, and I'm looking for a short soft brush actually too, and a filbert and a 1-inch flat brush. And here, you know, I get carried away when I start looking at things of seeing how many I have of one certain paintbrush. And in this case, I think it starts at a 0 and goes up to all different sizes there. But yeah, I got to looking at that. And then we're going to begin this acrylic painting, which I have to say I had so much fun painting it and adding a peekaboo card. So let's begin. I'll just get these out and we are going to start a canvas. It was so cute when I was listening to and watching Katie pick out the supplies for her painting. I knew I didn't have the same names as what she was calling out. The only ones I had was the titanium white, the Mars black, and the yellow ochre. But I was running to my stash and getting out the colors that were close. And that's what's pretty awesome. You don't have to be spot on with your colors, just close. I will leave the inspirational tutorial that I was watching 2 nights ago by this young artist in Britain, I think, and she did a beach scene, and it so inspired me to do a beach scene card. But then I got to thinking, you know what, I want to do a card and I want to do a canvas for my 10,000 subby giveaway, and it will be one of the prizes that I will give away. And I don't like to say the word prizes, gifts. It'll be one of the gifts I want to give away. And I thought it would be wonderful to have a card that is embedded in the painting. And you will get the best of both worlds, an acrylic beach painting and an acrylic beach card, and one is embedded inside the other. I think you're really going to enjoy this project today. It's not that it's difficult to do, it's the fact that I thought of having a painting and then a surprise card pop out from it. And I couldn't wait to get started and show you that you can use the most inexpensive paints, acrylic paints, and not because that they're, not good paints in themselves. They are. I just didn't pay very much for them. And some of them are beautiful paints that I got 90% off. So they are nice paints, but none of them are heavy body paints, but the black and white. So let's proceed, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I put a piece of double-sided tape in the center here. I'm taking off the backing, and we need to put the cut piece of canvas paper right in the center. This is going to be the start of the front of the card. So we are going to paint along the canvas like it's not even there. We're just going to pretend it's not there and proceed to make this gorgeous beach scene. Now, I didn't have all the colors that this artist, said to put out on your palette. I didn't. The only one I had was the black and the white. The rest of the colors were all different color names. So I thought, well, I put green and red and turquoise and baby blue. Look at that other blue there, how runny it is. And all different blues and grays and blacks. And I did have the yellow ochre, and it was so dry I had to cut it in half. It was one of those teensy little tubes. I cut it in half and literally squeezed the life out of it to get it down on this palette for you. And I knew I could make colors from colors, so it didn't really bother me. This is the purple, and I'm adding black to it to get a deep gray. And I love to mix different colors and see what we can come up with, what we can create on this canvas. And I love to find inspiration. I will link the tutorial, and it is similar to this young lady's acrylic painting, but they're not the same, obviously. Hers is nice and bright, and mine is richer and more textured, I think. So both different, because we're both different artists, right? Artists, listen to me. I've done 3 or 4 acrylic paintings, and now I'm calling myself an artist. Isn't that funny? So anyway, it is fun to do, and it is art, so I guess I could call myself an artist. So here I'm going to start with the gray on the top, and I mixed some purple, some blue, a little bit of red, turquoise, and the black, and then I am going to come across underneath with black, kind of like a gray black. I don't use straight black, but I knew that I had to have that line there, and I did have her picture on my iPad to the left. So I was looking over there and viewing as she was creating. I just knew I didn't have the right colors, and I wanted a deeper deeper colors to begin with. I didn't want them so bright, even though for a beach scene it should have been, but I get there in time. So look at this beautiful turquoise color. So I want to get the sky light. That was my purpose here. I wanted to have that kind of beautiful sea sky, and yet I wanted to have it rich, and I wanted to keep my hand on that canvas so it didn't move as well, because that's going to be our card. We are going to remove that piece, and I'll show you how we're going to come up with a pop-up card there on the canvas later. When I'm watching tutorials and looking for some inspiration, I don't want something that I can copy exact. I want something that when I look at it is going to give me inspiration and direction. And that's what this young lady did. Her name is Katie Jobling, or Jobling. I will put it in the description bar. She's a wonderful young artist, and I really enjoyed watching her paint. And so this is what I'm going as a beginner. Now I'm talking and teaching through this tutorial. I'm not teaching how-tos because I'm self-taught in everything I do. But what I'm trying to tell you is if you apply all of the colors that, say you see an artist and you like them and they tell you to put colors down, and you have colors close to that in your craft stash, put them out on your palette and work with those and mix them until they become close to where you're satisfied with the color that you've laid down. And there's no easier canvas to start with than an 8 by 10. And then pre-gessoed, of course, if you can get it pre-gessoed, but I wouldn't worry about it because you can just do a wash. Yeah, there's my dirty water. I have to go and change them. So I'm just seeing, the one is clean, but the other one I'll get to later. Now, you're going to want, on the horizon line, you're going to want to put some red mixed with some white and a little bit of blue, and put it just as a line going across. And you have to remember, when you're working with the rule of thirds, that paper is there that's going to be a card. That is going to open up and you're going to see the same ocean scene underneath as you do on top. And how it is so much fun to create this because I'm learning and I'm really liking it. I really do like acrylic painting, but I want to mix it up and do some watercolor painting as well. But this acrylic painting, even with inexpensive paints, is wonderful. So we're just going to carry on. The top, of course, is the sky. Then the distant water is going to be darker, and that's why we put the hue of pink up on top. And aren't you just loving to see something come to life on a canvas? I just love it. I don't think there's any mistakes in painting. I think if you would pick up a water brush and start to paint, look at any picture and start to paint it, I think you will be really surprised at how relaxing and how close you get to the image just by setting your mind to it, that you are going to paint a particular picture that day and just do it. So we have the bright, well, it's actually a deeper sky on top. It comes down to the white and then a little bit of pink and then the deep horizon line of dark blue. Then you're going to make it turquoise with a little bit of gray going through there. That's the water coming towards you. And then the deep, deep navy turquoise line you see there right on top of the bright turquoise at the bottom, that is the undertone for the wave coming up, because you want to have, there's no sunlight under the wave, so you want to have it dark, and that's why that line is there. So I will explain it as we keep continuing on with my card painting. Now, as you see the second line down, the dark navy going across, right underneath, you're going to add some white and blue mixture across there, and then some turquoise and gray, and then the deep, deep gray navy line for underneath that big wave that's going to come up, and that is the shading underneath. Then you can't see it here, but we have the yellow ochre on the bottom for the land. I will push this up later on, but you're going to add some white down on the bottom to brighten it up, the water that kind of moves in. And whenever ocean water moves forward, so I'm told, it gets really bright turquoise. And then you have the land, which I put on the bottom, and I'm drying it with my heat tool. I put it on the bottom the same way that Katie did her picture, to represent the land that the nice rippling foamy water's coming towards. And once I do lift that up, it will be much easier for you to understand. And isn't it sweet to realize that that's a card in the center? Wow. So now take your palette knife. I like to use these plastic ones. I do have metal ones, but the plastic works well. You want to mix it with some of your navy and white and turquoise, 3 together, and pat it, because here's your texture in the water that's distant from the sky. You have that cloudy sky look, and it is amazing. And Katie, you did a wonderful job on your tutorial that, teaches us to be able to grab some product, any product, and practice. And as beginners, we certainly need wonderful artists to lead the way, don't we? So now we're going to just palette this by pouncing it up and down, up and down, up and down, and that will bring up the texture. Here it is right there. Isn't that sweet? And we're going to add a few other wonderful elements in just a minute. Now let's recap. We have the bright sky to the top, bringing down the lighter blue and white together, mixed with a little bit of turquoise. And now comes the fun part of pouncing on the actual waves. And you're going to take a small round brush, twisting it now and then, and you're going to make an up and down center motion here. This, as you see it come to life, it is going to be that beautiful foamy wave that breaks through that wave in the distance, comes forward, and then the turquoise, that's what it's lying on, and then that beautiful dark blue hue is underneath the wave to bring the wave to life. And oh my, it's only pouncing white and a mixture of turquoise, a little bit of light blue in there, and makes a little gray together. And because you don't want a pure white as the waves, we will get back and do that. A little bit of more white texture in there. But now on the front element of that beautiful water coming forward, there you go, Carol. Bring it forward. Now look at Crafter's Acrylic. Look at these different paints. Every paint is different. Look at, I'm just grabbing them. You have folk art. You had that buttercream. I don't even know what the other one was. I just went, this is folk art too. I just went to my stash and picked it out. And these are my faves, the heavy body white and red, or white and black. But it doesn't matter. Look what we're producing with acrylic paints. That's all you need, acrylic paints. And they will be bright and more vivid too once you put a varnish at the end. So I've changed my water, I've cleaned out, you know me with cleaning, I cleaned all my brushes and all my palette knives, and I'm ready to go. Now the small round, you're just going to pounce with the brush pointing straight up and down. You're going to pounce like little wee earbuds, you know, the little Q-tips. You're just going to pounce little circles like that, just like I showed you on top. And now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, but this is not the actual wave, it is the foam that comes up on a smaller wave towards the front. And you just keep pouncing and pouncing, and then go back with the white with a little bit of turquoise in that white. And now you're going to add the texture. Just add that acrylic paint. That's a titanium heavy body, which works perfect as far as wanting an ocean wave coming up. And you'll see how we make this come alive as we're putting on the little wee foam lines. You know, the little wee tiny ripples that move forward after a big wave comes in. Oh, this was so much fun, I can't even tell you. You will love it. And then mix up some yellow ochre, some gray, and a little bit of red, and go over your textured lines right at the bottom. So that is the shade under the foam that reaches the land that we made with the yellow ochre and a little bit of gray, a little bit of green, and we mix that across the bottom. And now I'm going over it with the brush underneath the wave to make it darker with the deep, deep navy that I had to make. I made it with blue, violet, and black. And then I'm adding tiny little textured deep black and deep navy underneath there. And then I took my palette knife with just white, and I'm tapping it in the distant waters, because you're going to want a little bit of waves back there, right, moving forward. You can't have a calm in the storm and then all of a sudden produce a wave. I guess you could. Like, I'm not a fisherman. I don't know these things, but I'm just saying. You have to have a, let me just zoom in here. See how you have a little bit, the textured pounce of that back navy there, the water that's distant. Then you have all that texture. Then you put some white with some turquoise pounced in there. And now you have lines going across right beside the first wave, and then you have texture with the black and the navy underneath the wave, and now comes the straight lines. We're going to add some calm, calm lines. Palette knife is your best friend when it comes to doing waves and foam like that. Just pouncing it with first your round brush, and now here comes this tiny, tiny detail brush. We're going to do some heavy strokes. You can see the turquoise ones that we made into a tiny V, but now we're going to make calm white foam marks in the distance. And I'm also going to add some straight lines with the white and mixing it with blue and turquoise. And we're going to pounce that in. But look how I'm adding the lines on all of those almost like W's there, where the water's movement is in the turquoise, because you can't have a wave coming in like that. I envision it that the waves are starting in the background to develop, and then it's going to move forward. So I had to find some of this, I think of the name buttersquash, but that's not what it is, paint. And I took some of this beautiful olive green, and I mixed it with the turquoise, and I'm running it in the foam part of the water moving forward. Oh, I'm falling in love with this. And then you have this card. Look at that card that's right in the center. Is that not fabulous? Oh, here's another thing. Take your palette knife and go round and round and round and lift it up and then scrape it up. Because you know those where the wind brings the waves up in the air like mist? You can just do that by going round and round and then pick it up. See the lines there on the top? Oh, I just love it. And add as much as you want on the bottom of your palette knife. And if you make movements like round and round and round, and then change it up by scraping it up in the air, and you get those lines that are in the background. See the navy water way back? Then you have the turquoise calm right behind that wave, that beautiful deep wave. See the nice calm line? And then this wave comes up and you have that magnificent deep water underneath that gorgeous foamy wave. And now we're going to bring that water all the way to the shoreline. And as it comes to the shoreline, it just says the word calm. And look how I'm going round and round and round and round with my palette knife. And you can cover up some of the shading that we put in there, but you want to leave some at the bottom, right? Because some of those waves, that foamy pieces, they do come up, and I will straighten them up later. Just right here with the turquoise and white. And then I'm going to run some turquoise around the bottom, because you know there is water that descended and rescended. Is that the words? Came forward, came back. How's that? Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. I remember when watching one of Jane's tutorials that somebody made a comment that they didn't want to waste paint by practicing first. And Jane said the only waste that you would be wasting is the paint that you don't use. I thought that was so profound because you can't waste paint, right? Because you're practicing like I am and growing and learning how to be an acrylic painter. You know how to paint these pictures, and they make lovely gifts. This is going to be one of my 10,000 subby giveaways. And when we get to the end of this tutorial, I'm going to do some brush lettering, but only when I pick the gift person that gets this painting, so I can personally write a sentiment to whoever wins it. So I'm going to wait to put the brush lettering on the vellum on the inside. Now I went around with the brown and I completed. See how by my thumb down there you can see the beautiful shading underneath the foam that came forward. I don't know, I'm really happy with this. And I went around the little 1-inch frame. I did yellow on the yellow and blue on the blue and navy on the navy and kind of mixed it up, and then black on one side. Okay, so I want to lift up this painting. Now we've used the heat tool and it is stuck, my friends, on the front of here. But don't worry, I want to cut it in such a way that it will make a hole all the way through. See that? All the way through. And then I'm going to take that beautiful canvas paper and I'm going to put double-sided tape and smack dab on the back so it's nice and firm. You're not even going to know you cut this out. Make it nice and straight. And these are, you get 4 of these cutters, those little pink ones, for $1, at $1.25, because nothing is $1 at my dollar store. But they are really sharp and disposable. So I would suggest, if you can, and you don't think you would, cut yourself with those because they're crazy sharp, use one of those knives. They work very well. And orange tape. This orange tape is at Tuesday Morning, and wow, it was inexpensive but crazy sticky. And the knife, the palette, this cutting knife, lifts up this crazy sticky orange tape like nothing. So you want to use that when you put your canvas down here. But we are going to cover the entire canvas with a beautiful turquoise paper. So this is just to make my card stable. Now on the back I want to put canvas. So when you open up the card front, it's going to look beauteous. And then I'm going to put some of this antique paper. I can't remember what it's called. I'll leave it in the description box, or you can tell me in the comments. It's some type of self-made paper, and it has all of this like fibers through it. It's so beautiful. I've been hoarding it for like 3 years, so I decided to use it. So here is the pad of my canvas paper. Now I put it already and cut it on the, I put it already on the back here, and now the canvas has to be quickly drawn to look like the other outside part, right? Because we've taken the good part off. This is the under painting, sort of. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you know what? 40-pound vellum's going over top of it. You wouldn't know that you didn't do this right along with the original 8x10 canvas painting. Look at that. Make it as, it doesn't have to be perfected. You're not going to see it. It's going to look like, like a bokeh technique, where things are softer than they originally are. Phew, did that make sense? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing okay, right? Haven't coughed once. There you go. I feel better. So I'm just following the lines here in no particular order. I just want to match the colors, and if I see anything I need to dab on the outside like I do here, I just add to it. This is where you can collect your thoughts and come in and clean up anything that you see. And like I said, Katie's picture did not have a card slapped in the middle of it. It was a beautiful, beautiful acrylic painting with Winsor Newton heavy body paints. They were beautiful. So, yeah, if anybody's watching this that wants to have me use their Winsor Newton or golden paints, I will certainly use them for you if you want to send them to me. I've never done that in my life. It sounds so crazy funny to ask for things, doesn't it? But eventually I'll buy them, you know, like I did my Copic collection until I got all of them. You just slow and steady, and that's how you build up your stash, right? So, anywho, I'm just going here and trying to make it as close to the picture on the side as I possibly can, knowing that the Stampin' Up! 40-pound vellum will be seated on the inside, folded at the 1-inch mark, so that my top card that's up there in the upper left does not look beautiful with that wave. I tell you what, if you're a beginner and you can make something actually look like a wave, that gets you excited, doesn't it? Oh man, it does me. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I am excited to look at this picture. When a picture turns out to look like something that's in your mind and you set a goal and you were inspired to do something like this card, I haven't seen something like this. I did create one for my besties that I'm going to show you later on, where I took the guts out of 16 by 22, 18 by 22 inch canvas. Yeah, here's the only magnets I will use. These are the only magnets. They are fabulous. I use them for all my cards. I'll leave that in the description box. I don't know why my Mac overheats when I edit. I have to shut it down, and I know you can hear it as every time I stop talking is when it starts to go shh, because it's overheating. And I have to pull the lid down and wait. Isn't that crazy? I have a MacBook Pro, like one of the best Macs, and I can't get it to not overheat when I edit. Maybe I talk so much that I overheated. I don't know. But anyway, isn't this looking fabulous? So we have to get our magnets and decide, okay, your E6000 is coming out, your glue dots are coming out, your pokey tool, and of course, your beauteous painting. Let's go at her. We're going to put that down at the back, and then we'll decide where it's going to be seated when we put the card base in. Look at that. It's like a big puzzle, isn't it? I can't wait to hear in the comments who and whom were inspired to do an ocean scene and make a card out of it like this. I love when the Lord brings stuff to my mind, like these little different creations to do. Now, I'm sure, you know, nothing is new under the sun. I'm sure that I have seen it somewhere. I just can't remember. I remember looking at the Katie's painting and thinking to myself, wouldn't that be wonderful if a card would pop out of the center? And that's where it began yesterday, and here we are editing the video of a card embedded into a painting. So here's why we didn't have to worry about painting it exact on the inside of the card base. We're putting 40-pound Stampin' Up! Vellum right there, and it gives the illusion that it's identical underneath, yet it isn't. And then you're gonna leave an inch on the left-hand side to rest your piece of cardstock that we cut out, the real painted cardstock, we'll say, card canvas. We're going to set it on that inch, and now it's creation station time. We are going to put this together. I love it. Oh, I can't remember having so much fun. Well, yes, I can, on the raindrop painting. Wow, I got some beautiful comments. Thank you, everybody. I get so inspired when I read them. I want to thank you all. And I can't wait for my 10,000 subbies to hit, because I'm going to have 3 wonderful surprises to give away for just me being thankful for you. And that will start when I hit 10,000. But I have to have my gifts ready, right? So here we are. We've taken the vellum. I used the narrow orange tape because it's the stickiest. You don't want to use liquid tape on the vellum. At least I don't like using it on the vellum. I take it off with my knife, my cutting knife, and I love the illusion that I mean literally that took 3 minutes to put that on the inside and make it look like it was identical to the outsides. So quick and easy because you've already completed it once, so you're just copying it again. So here I'm putting another piece down on this side, and I don't know what I was thinking there, but you'd have to have this tape on all 4 sides. And when we turn it over, remember we did put the pad canvas down. We cut it to fit on the back, and I'll show you that later. So see how we folded that 1 inch forward? So that is the actual painting we cut out is going to rest on there, and underneath that piece is the magnet that needs to go on this piece. There it is. So we're going to put the E6000 down. We're going to put some orange sticky tape on this fold. And here we go. I took 2 different sizes. Tuesday morning is the best place to get this orange tape. It's really inexpensive, even with the exchange. Now, doesn't that sky look nice? I'm telling you, I questioned whether using inexpensive paint would make a big difference. Now, I've never used expensive paint to compare it with, I suppose, other than the black and white golden. And so when I used these, and I've used them in mixed media projects, mixing up my gesso and my mixed media paste, but doing it as a complete painting, I was really satisfied, and I loved the colors I could come up with. And there's that beautiful paper up there in the right-hand corner. That weaved, I know it has a name. Yeah, it's kind of like cotton. It's really pretty. It's see-through. Am I getting there yet? I can't wait till somebody tells me what it is. And now I'm taking the double-sided tape off here. I put 1 layer of that beautiful paper down, and now this is the 2nd layer because I wanted to the blue in the green there looks like the waves that are coming forward in the picture. Isn't that incredible how we have this stuff in our stash? And now I'm situating those fibers so it covers up my magnet. So it took 2 layers. Taking my large Tim Holtz scissors and cutting it out. And there you have it. The back is all beauteous. Now that we have the tape on the folded portion here, we'll remove it with our knife, and we're going to put the real deal right over top, fitting it in perfectly. Make sure you're able to press it way in, and then look at that. Look at that paper. Oh, I wish I could think of the name of that. That kind of that turquoise there. And then you have the 40-pound Stampin' Up! Right there that I'm showing you. And that's where I'm going to write my sentiment for the person that gets this painting for my 10,000 subby. And I want to ask you if you can think up 2 other gifts that you think someone would like yourselves would like to get as a gift for my 10,000 subby appreciation gift. I would really appreciate that. There's my magnet, and here's the paper. I got this pack for $6.99 at Michael's, and it's 48 double-sided sheets. And yeah, so I picked this out because it's that soft turquoise, and it reminded me, this is upside down, but it reminded me of the beautiful water that's coming forward onto the land. It matched perfectly. So I'm going to use the orange sticky tape because it worked perfectly, and it will keep it there. I have a Tim Holtz little wee gold fastener that I'm going to put on the back there so somebody can hang it up. And here I'm putting down the 1-inch tape for us to seat the paper. So this is giveaway number 1, and I'm going to make 2 other giveaways. Remembering that I'm from Canada, I open it up to everybody. UK, United States, anywhere it's open for anyone to win. Once I hit 10,000, of course. And please give me suggestions in the comments section. And I always appreciate the thumbs up. That helps me get placement so people see my tutorials when YouTube sees that I have a lot of likes. And only like it if you do like it, of course. And thank you for subscribing. And boy, I sure have made a lot of nice friends on my channel and my blog. I appreciate that. So here you have it. I'm going to grab, look at that opened. Doesn't that look like it just, we did 2 complete canvases the same? Mulberry paper. Woohoo! I thought of it. Mulberry paper. I can't believe it. It is after almost 1:30 and I remembered it was mulberry paper. Boy, that is something. So now I'm going to put some tape there. Let me just see. I was thinking to myself, I have to put another layer of the mulberry paper on there because you could see how you could see the magnet on there. Yeah, I'm starting to get silly because it's getting so late, and I worked on this all day today. I worked on it last night and today because I just finished that other one. Look at that. Oh, I'm in love with this painting. It is beautiful. Oh, you know what that is? Tomato soup. Yeah, that's what I had for lunch. A nice big thing of tomato soup. Yeah, it was very, very good. And now we're coming down to the end, my friends. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about anything I did and the brushes I used, I will help you out the best I can. And as beginners, I want to encourage you to take a canvas, take any kind of paint. Here's the one I did for my bestie. I cut the hole out of this huge canvas. I made a swing. I made a land and a little boy on a bicycle. I did the back portion of it, and it was 18 by 26, I think. That was a big canvas, but it had the same idea of taking the center out. This one, though, was a card. So I want us just to look at it, and I'm going to answer any questions. You know, the mulberry paper is beauteous too, isn't it? And I do like the fact that we added some of the dark under the front foam, and I like the back just being clean like that. I asked my friend what she thought the back, whether I should take some distress ink, and she lives by the ocean, and she said, no, keep it crisp, Carol. So that's what I did. But I did take, yeah, I'm starting to turn lights out. Yeah, I'm turning the lights out because I wanted to get the edit done early today, but that didn't happen. I did get cleaned up. Everything got cleaned up. I love my Stay Wet paint holder there because now I put the lid on it and I can use all those paints. Will be fresh and moist when I go to use them again. So what do you think, my friends? Should I put anything on the card to open it? I don't know if that takes away from the fact that it's a hidden opening card. I guess I could give a little wee note, and well, whoever wins this is a subscriber to my channel, so they're going to know it opens up, right? So I think I'll leave it just like it is. And we are going to call it a day, right? Have a blessed week, my friends. Thank you for being you. Thank you for encouraging me. And please enjoy the pictures. Take care, my friends. See you on the next tutorial.